Owo mi da, sanwó mi, you know, owo foundation, owo painting, owo roofing, owo, that's it. So when you're buying or when you buy Omonile land, when you are building, you will pay them money when you are doing your foundation, you pay them money when you are doing your roofing, tiling, painting, electrical work. Every level you get to during the building process, you will settle them. It's outrageous, right? Now, the crazy thing about this is that this is illegal. For people like me and the likes of myself, Muna Ching Warsu, when it's time to cheat Warsu, Muna Basukashi, but I won't advise you to toe that lane. What I would say is be diplomatic, dialogue with them, negotiate, whatever it is you can afford, just give it to them. Even when you finish building and you want to construct another structure in the same land, you still have to repeat the same process. It is crazy. So that's just it. Very common in Lagos, and you also need to know that when you're giving these people these monies, you need to be careful who you pay to, because if you just give it to anybody, you see another set of people coming again. Where's the money? Our money, our money. If you give them something again, you see another new face, set of new faces coming again for the same payment. So what you need to do, you need to ask for their leader, go to the community, tell them you are looking for the leaders of these people, the elders of this family, and then give it to them. Let them share it to every other person. The next pitfall of buying Omonile land is that you can only make outright payment. You can only make outright payment as opposed to buying estate land. When you buy estate land, you can choose to make your payment outright. You can choose to spread your payment and pay in installment. But on Omonile land, it is cash and carry. As you make your payment, they give you your land. Nothing like I want to pay for 6 months, I want to pay for 12 months. No, pay outrightly. That's a money learner for you. And it is also important I say this, don't pay anybody cash. If you want to make payment through bank transfer or any means that you can have your evidence of payment. When you are making your transfer, in the narration, state why you are making that payment. If it's you are paying for one plot of land, say you are paying it for one plot of land. If you are paying for the documents or whatever it is, state it in your narration. Don't pay cash. If you must pay cash, let them give you the receipt immediately. And it must be in the presence of everybody where there are enough witnesses. Okay, just make sure you have hard copy evidence that you can fall back to should the need arise. I remember the first apartment I rented as a young graduate, trying to find my 2 feet on the ground. Because of how desperate I was looking for an apartment. All the apartments I was seeing were above my budget. Okay, when I finally got one within my budget, the apartment was still even being under construction. And that's what one thing we'll talk about when we talk about, or make a video on real estate scams in Lagos. Don't make any payment to any landlord that is still working on his building. The house should be completed before you make payment. But that is by the way. I made the payment to this man on the roadside. I gave him money, cash, and he just gave me a written note. I so collected so amount of money for so apartment. Until I left that compound, I didn't set my eyes on that man again. So what if he wasn't the rightful landlord or the real owner of that place? What if there were some other people that paid for that apartment? Another disadvantage of buying on Monile land is that you cannot buy and leave it just like that. You must develop immediately. Okay, if you do not develop, they are going to sell it to somebody else or multiple people. So when you come back after 1 year or 2 years, maybe you will see that there is in fact, there are people living on your land. They've already finished building and forgotten about the building process. So even if you have a very good title on that land, try and develop that land as soon as possible. Let alone when you don't have a good title, maybe you just got your payment receipt or deed of assignment. So while you are processing your better documents, it is advisable you construct something on that land. You don't even have to build a full structure. Build one or two shops. Even the shops do not need to be completed. Just raise a structure to secure that land. Otherwise, when you come back and you see somebody living on your land, if you are lucky, the Omoniles will relocate you and give you another land far inside. If you are lucky. If you're not lucky, you won't get another land, you won't get a refund. The next pitfall of buying Omonile land is on the land documentation. When you buy Omonile land, just bear in mind that you yourself are going to be the one to have to process every necessary document needed to perfect the title or the ownership of that land. So let's say you buy from these Omoniles and they just give you a payment receipt and deed of assignment. You are the one that is you have to go and process your survey, register it, process your CFO down till the very minute you can fully claim ownership of that land. And guess what? The longer you delay processing such documents, the higher you're going to have to pay them, because you still have to come back to those Omoniles to append their signatures as a were due. And of course, they won't do it for free. You have to give them something. So let's say you delay for too long before processing these documents. You may likely pay as much or even higher amount to them than the amount you paid to them buying that land. So it's crazy. Last but not the least is government committed land. Chances are you buy a government committed land. Now, if for those of us who've seen the video we made on title documents in Nigeria, by the way, I'll drop the link in the comment section of this video so you can click and watch. I made ample explanation of different titles. Now, in particular, there is the one called excision. Now, I'm just going to summarize. When government releases back some parcels of land out of the whole back to the original owners, they are giving them the right to do whatever it is they want with that land that they've released. They've taken some and they've given them back some. So when they give them back this land, the Omoniles can sell, they can build, they can do whatever it is. Most times when they sell and they finish selling all that land, they now encroach into the one government has reserved for itself, and they keep selling to individuals. So this has been happening. It's happening a lot in Lagos. What you need to do to save yourself is to carry out your due diligence. Get in touch with the surveyor, let him carry out the research on whatever land it is you are buying so you don't fall into wrong hands. Okay, when you buy a committed land, government will not come and tell you stop building on this land. No, stop it. Government will relax. They'll just fold their arms and they'll be watching you build that house, that duplex, that mansion. Until when they are finally ready to use that land, that's when you know that this land is government land. They will demolish, and most times you'll be left with nothing. But you can't be on this channel, you can't be a follower of this channel and be a victim of such. No.